Hi, this is Morley and this is the M-Wire for another La Palma update for November 3rd, 2021. Some of you have been telling me that you haven't been getting notified for my videos. Please make sure that you are quite obviously subscribed to the channel, as well as click the notification bell to ensure that you are getting updates whenever I release a new video. There could potentially be some degree of shadow banning going on as far as La Palma is concerned, and that is why you are not getting updated whenever I or other YouTubers that are covering La Palma release videos. So make sure that the notification bell is indeed clicked, and you should be getting updates. Before I get into the earthquake that struck La Palma early in the morning hours for our time here in the US, I just want to show you this recent footage of the main vent of the volcano. Now, you notice, folks, at the base of the volcano, if you look to the lower left there is an awful lot of steam coming up from that. Now, this is someone that looks at this daily, and that is more than usual, which implies that there is more magma rising to the surface than usual. I'm used to seeing, little tufts of steam here and there, but that is quite a lot coming from the base of the volcano, which, as I said, could very well imply that a lot more magma is rising to the surface from the subchamber to the lower chamber and out of the mouth of the volcano itself. Now, a major airline has suspended all flights to La Palma for the next month. TUI or TUI cancels all flights to La Palma for the entire month of November. That is somewhat telling, folks, in the sense that this airline no longer believes it's safe to even travel to this island. They are not going to sacrifice revenue unless they earnestly and honestly believe that was the case. They don't believe that their staff is safe there. That is obviously why that they've suspended flights. This doesn't seem like too overly significant of a development, but let's see if other airlines follow suit, as they obviously do not feel safe traveling to the island at this point. So a 5.1 earthquake has struck the island of La Palma at only 26 kilometers of depth. That is a very shallow earthquake of that magnitude. EMSC has rated this a 4.9 at 40 kilometers depth, but now EMSC is now in the habit of downgrading earthquakes. I just watched Dutch Since's latest update. He is of that opinion also. If you haven't checked out his channel, once again, his channel's name is Dutch Since, S-I-N-S-E. He's been covering earthquakes on YouTube for over a decade. He's very knowledgeable. I highly recommend it. But the earthquake agencies for reporting earthquakes are clearly downgrading them because they don't want to cause a panic. As you can see, an airline has already canceled its flights to and from La Palma for the next month. But they basically want to downplay the situation because they don't want to do anything to hurt the almighty tourism dollar. There is so much money involved with volcano tourism, it's not even funny. So they are essentially protecting the almighty tourism dollar at any and all costs. So since this volcano has started erupting on September 19th, I remember when a 3.0 earthquakes were, somewhat of an event, not that much. There were little ones and whatnot, but now the little ones, as I've said for weeks now, have been drowned out by the larger ones. And then there was a time when 4.0 earthquakes were somewhat of an event. Now we're getting 5.1s and 5 pluses, period, that are being downgraded because they, as I say, they don't want to cause a panic on the island. They want to protect the tourism dollar at all costs. So they will continue to downgrade these earthquakes. But this one here, this is from Volcano Discovery. And as I say, they're reporting this at 26 kilometers, which is very shallow for an earthquake of that magnitude. And the only logical explanation is that magma is indeed rising, as I showed you in the video footage of the volcano itself at the base there. The steam emanating from the volcano at the base is clearly more visible and tangible, which directly implies, in my mind anyway, that magma is rising. I certainly would like your thoughts on that. But like I say, I look at the footage from TV Canarias daily, and I've never seen steam quite that thick at the base of the volcano. That's my observation. Let's get into what Volcano Discovery actually had to say about this 5.1 earthquake. This morning's 5.1 event, which hit at 7:27 a.m., is the strongest so far tremor under the volcano since the seismic crisis followed the ongoing eruption began in September. It was felt all over the island, and if the depth is correct of only 26 kilometers, it deviates significantly from the depth layer of around 35 to 40 kilometers, which has been where other stronger quakes in the range of magnitudes of 4.5 to 5 have occurred so far. This could be due to new magma intrusion into intermediate layers at this depth. It will be important to see whether it will be followed by an increase of lava activity in the near future, several hours from now, possibly. So Volcano Discovery is generally quite conservative with their reports and whatnot. But with this one, I kind of sense a little bit of alarm just in the wording that they chose to report this. The fact that they're, a little bit more, shall we say, cautious and pensive about this could be a little bit telling. Let's just say that if this is the beginning of a trend and we see more 5.0 plus earthquakes at shallower depths, that is absolutely and positively not good for the island of La Palma whatsoever, because that seismic activity will obviously shake the island more violently the closer it is to the surface, and that will do nothing but agitate the fault line, and that's the last thing that anyone wants to see happen, because that's what will precede the entire island breaking off and causing the mega tsunami. Activity continues with ash emissions from the main vent and lava effusion from the lower one, feeding most of it into a tube system. An active lava flow breakout is visible in the webcam in the upper part of the lava flow field, but it seems to remain on top of older flows. Volcanic tremor has continued to drop a bit, suggesting less magma is currently rising and arriving at the lava, but earthquakes seem to have picked up again somewhat. Just minutes ago, a strong quake with a preliminary magnitude of 5.1 occurred at 26 kilometers depth. Minutes ago, this data might be corrected still. I just want to get into the ash and sulfur dioxide emissions coming from La Palma, as I've shown you that the ash is literally feet thick, so the air quality on La Palma is less than favorable at this point. The emission of considerable volume of ash coming from Cumbre Vieja volcano is maintained this Tuesday, and the same as the previous 3 days, and has covered the entire west and northern sector of the island of La Palma, a phenomenon that has been accompanied by short episodes of audible explosions that could be caused by intense degassing. This was reported at a press conference by the National Director of Volcanic Surveillance of the National Geographic Institute and spokesperson of the Pelavoca scientific community, Carmen Lopez, who also indicated that the last hours the high rate of lava emission from the emitter focus of the northwest flank of the main cone continues, and in the area of casting 11 there has been slight advance of the lava flow that moves towards the west, approaching the LP 211 highway. The ash levels in El Paso, Los Llanos de Arian, Tazacorte, and Tijerif and Punta Gorda remain high as the degassing process of the last days. In relation to seismicity, it continues to be located in the same areas in the same depths between 10 and 15 kilometers and greater than 20 kilometers. The maximum magnitude in the last 24 hours has been 4.6. Obviously that's a little more since the 5.1 earthquake that occurred yesterday at 8:24 p.m. 36 kilometers deep, which has been felt with maximum intensity 4, which has also been slightly felt in La Gomera and Tenerife. Folks, this volcano is not slowing down by any means. Anyone who tells you it is clearly isn't paying attention to it. The earthquake activity continues to increase, which is obviously the most telling factor as to what's happening with the volcano, as magma is clearly rising and doesn't show any sign of slowing down anytime soon. Which brings us to what I talk about in every update. You need to have a plan if you live on the eastern seaboard of the United States and obviously parts of Europe and probably other parts as well. You need to have a bug out plan. Have a bug out bag, a full tank of gas if you need to leave in an absolute hurry. Have somewhere to go. I know no one wants to think about this, folks, but a little preparation on your part could mean the difference between you living to tell the tale or not. I'm not being alarmist here. My philosophy is to simply err on the side of caution, and that's what I'm trying to get you folks to do. But thank you so much for coming along with me to my update. Like I said earlier in the video, folks, please make sure that the notification bell is indeed ticked. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Share the video, folks. This is so underreported, it's not even funny. There's only a few people really here on YouTube that are even talking about it. And until the next update, God bless.